everyone, and welcome to Slip Joint Sawyer. Today we're going to be taking a look at my Sharp Show knife haul. Now I have here a Trevor Ablett which I picked up the day before, so we're going to show that as well. But the Sharp Show is a yearly event here in the UK for knife lovers, EDC lovers, sort of crafts people, because they sell leather bits, you know, handle materials, all that sort of good stuff. But yeah, we're just going to go through what I picked up. But it was a fantastic day. I was on a stall with Dan at Blade Bridge. Mikey, Paddy and Judd were on Twisted Assisted stalls selling some Ashley Harrisons and some Arthur Wright knives. It was just the most fantastic weekend. Met up with some great people, great laughs, had some great food, and just a fantastic time at the show. It was superb. But it's just going to be a brief video going through some of the bits I've picked up. Apologies for the state of my hands. I received a few knives while I was there. Some that needed some work for myself, and some knives that subscribers had bought to have me do a little bit of work on them as well. So I've been doing that all sort of morning, so apologies for that. But this is the Trevor Ablett Lamb's Foot. I got this the day before Sharp Show. See the made in Sheffield there, beautiful brass bolsters and rosewood. You can see how that sort of slanted down to the flat bolsters. Nice large lamb's foot. Of course, I've used it because it's a knife, it's a tool. They're going to get used in my collection, but it's incredibly comfortable in the hand. It's just a superb looking knife. So technically that is one from Sharp Show weekend. And I'll go through this, a couple of slips I got as well. So Lynn made up a slip for me. This was on my request. I wanted one that would fit a 112 but also had a pen slot on the side, and I wanted it like the old style where they just had the loop down like this. And I think Lynn did a fantastic job. Sits just proud there, so it's enough for me to pinch and pull the knife out. And then I have a little pen slot on there as well. And she just gave this to me. She wouldn't take any money off me, so Lynn, thank you very much. I love the slip. I love the colour as well. The sort of teal blue goes beautifully with the black, and it fits the 112 perfectly. And the pen slot on there is superb as well. And this was a gift from Ellis or Suzuki, I can't remember the exact pronunciation of it, but on Discord he gifted me, Paddy, Judd and Mikey one of these with the PPP logo on it to go with our PPP knives. He's done a fantastic job with the leather, nice thick green stitching around the outside as well. Nice little logo here, and then the PPP is sort of hot stamped in there. I think that's absolutely fantastic, and I've been carrying my PPP knife in that as well today. So Ellis, thank you very much for that. I absolutely love it. And while we're talking about the PPP knife, we'll go on and say there was a couple of show specials there as well. So Arthur Wright's made up 13 with the blades they had left with some different variations. There was oak, ebony, which I got here, and some lignum vitae. And they did them on the jack frame. So instead of having the sway back to like the original, which was this one here, you can see how it's slightly swayed back, and they're throwing it everywhere. And the show special was on the jack frame, and I really prefer the jack frame. I think it's absolutely fantastic. And what's even better about these, this one was chased by Michael Harrison. I mean, look how beautiful that is on the back there. No green underliners or anything, half stopped. Beautiful snap. There's the PPP tang on there. Again, this has been used again today. I've had it in my pocket. It's absolutely superb. Never really a massive fan of the Tackler / Warncliffe blade, but when it's on a jack frame, to me, it just feels like a lamb's foot. Obviously, it's very similar to a lamb's foot, but I've really been enjoying using it, and I love the fact it's on a half stop as well. Great snap, and the ebony is, well, I mean, look at it. Beautifully dark ebony. Wonderfully done. Brass really sets off against the ebony. I think it looks fantastic. So that is the PPP knife, one of the ones I picked up at the show. We also have an olive wood. This is a sort of a sway back sheep's foot, pretty much the pruner frame with a sheep's foot blade, and I thought it was quite unique, so I grabbed this one. Love the olive wood on this. Sheep's foot blade on there. Built absolutely perfectly. I love it. It's quite a handful to use, and it's quite weird to get used to, but I think I'm going to put this in my workshop and just leave it open as like a knife to grab quickly and do scoring or any sort of small wooden tasks I'm going to be doing while I'm making knife handles and things like that. But the snap, absolutely killer snap on that. Let's take a look at some of the gear I picked up. So I'm a massive fan of these Olight O-Pen minis. And this is the first, like the V1. The V2 now has a pencil at the back, but they had the brass one there, and I couldn't leave it there. Nice little bit of extra weight in the pen. I really like how the brass patinas after a while of use. So that was an absolute bargain there. You can see the Olight O Pen Mini. And then to go with that, I bought the brass version of the i3T2 EO. I don't know. I bought this torch. It's very simple. It's just a AAA battery. It's like one on and then a dim on. That's pretty much it. But it's got a nice pocket clip on it, and that just sits on my belt or in one of the caddies. But this is part of their friendship, and I think that's what that means. I don't know, but I mean, that's what was on the box. But I love the sort of the hammered effect on the brass. I think it looks absolutely fantastic, and the black really complements it as well. And you've got that sort of hammered effect on the entirety of the torch, and this nice little bit of grip here as well. And then a couple of knives I've got that I've already rehandled. So this here was a Moonraker I traded Paddy for, and this was a black synthetic case sodbuster, which I got for I think it was about £10 at one of the stalls. Now, Moonraker did have spalted beech on it, but Paddy's one did have quite sort of boring wood on the front, but I've replaced it with this Osanji orange wood, and I think it looks absolutely stunning. I mean, look at the grain on that. Absolutely beautiful. Nicely centered as well, and a really great action. And this is sort of as a lamb's foot Barlow. So yeah, adds something a little bit different to my collection, not something that everyone can get, which is what I kind of like. I kind of like having the uniqueness of the different knives, and that Osanji wood I think is, I mean, it's fantastic. I love the sort of the dark pitting you get in it when you buff it, and the grain is just superb. Super action on that as well. And this was again 1980 case Sodbuster Junior. This had the black Delrin covers, and I took them off, repinned it with this Wenge or Wenge wood, whichever way you pronounce it. And I think I did a pretty good job with it. I'm really happy how it turned out. Still has a nice action. There you go, you can see the 1980 tang stamp there with the 10 dots. Still loads of life left in that blade, and I've got it for next to nothing. I think it may be carbon steel, because you can see there's some pitting on there and the odd sort of dot here and there. So that would be nice if it does turn out to be carbon steel, but it's such a nice knife now that it's in the wood, because it adds a grippiness to it which the synthetic didn't have, and the synthetic had faded to like a light grey as well. A couple of Barber knives. So if any of you don't know, there was a Sheffield maker called James Barber, and his knives are kind of sought after, and I got these right at the start of the show. This is a little serpentine jack, and you have, see that, there's maker's mark there, the ERA James Barber Sheffield. Little Warncliffe blade on this one, and then the other end you get beautiful little penknife, and you can see that sort of serpentine frame there as well. Great action on that. Just buffed this up really, that's all I had to do to it. Leave a little soak in mineral oil. It's that sort of celluloid cracked ice looking plastic on there. And then the other one I got was what people sort of generally think of when they think of a Barber knife. It's sort of, it's a half Congress really, the pattern is. It's just two blades on a Congress style frame. And this is what Michael Harrison has braced the new Barber knife on for Arthur Wright and Sons. But this has a sheep's foot and a pen blade, whereas the Arthur Wright one only has a sheep's foot blade. But this thing has amazing action. I just give it a little bit of a buff up, nothing major. See that tang stamp again while we're here. ERA James Barber Sheffield. Beautiful action, built absolutely flawlessly. I love this thing. A couple of American knives I picked up. So I got this one for 30 from Kongi. So that's Kongi's Knife Sales if you're not familiar. Does fantastic deals. This is a carbon steel number 44 pattern. So you get the pen knife instead of a spade blade. And you can see it's in the CV. And this is in the beautiful peach seed jig, I think that is. Red bone. Not sure which of the reds it is, but I love it. Built really well, no gaps, nothing like that. And it's stamped as well, which is what I like to see in a case. I think that's a 2018. Got an old Queen knife as well from Kongi, and this is a Queen steel Barlow. This one is from 1978, and it has fantastic action, and it's in superb condition. I did polish it up a little bit. You can kind of see me in the bolsters, hello, and in the blade. But look at that, Queen steel etch is still on there. The Queen tang with 78. This is the saw cut Delvin on here. And for anyone that doesn't know how these are built, these are integral liners and back spring, and then the spring just in here and here, and then you have a hidden spring, but it has beautiful action, dead center, aluminium covers with bolsters. You can see you've got the nickel silver pin in there, and these scales are pinned on as well. This is another one picked up. This is just a made in Sheffield sort of cattleman's knife or cigar pattern, I'm going to call it. You have main blade on there, like, well, main blade, a clip point blade, and they all just say Sheffield, England. So I'm not really sure who made this. So if anyone knows, let me know in the comments below, or if you have any inkling who made it. And this blade is a bit of a pain to get out. And you have pen blade. Does catch on there a little bit, which is a bit annoying. You have spade blade, and you also have a sheep's foot blade as well. But very happy with this, absolute bargain, beautiful jigged bone, nice diamond shield on there as well, and the build quality is absolutely superb. Bone's beautiful on both sides. And the last two are probably my favourite pickups from the show. This is a stag lamb's foot. Look at the stag on that. And this is, I always forget, this is a bona fide, and it's John Wigfall & Co, Sheffield. Real lamb foot stamped in the blade. I mean, look how much of that blade is left. I got this from Kongi as well. It's built absolutely superbly. The stag is fantastic. I'm so happy I managed to pick this up at the show. I think it's absolutely wonderful. And then last but not least, I'll say that, there's a couple of other bits, but we'll leave one knife till the end. Now, Arthur Wright sent over some cool bits, sort of mementos and things like that you could pick up for pretty cheap. Now, this is £10. There is some of these available, and you can pick them up through the Slip Joint Sanitarium Discord. The link is in my description. And there is cutouts of their clip point blades. So this is how the blades are stamped out, but they have as well put on every tang stamp that they're currently using, if I can get it to focus. So there's the Twisted Assisted, the PPP. This is Sheffield Handmade England, made in Sheffield, Ashley Harrison's custom stamp, and then we have the A. Wright Sheffield England. So now these are all ones owned by Arthur Wright and Sons, and all ones that are in production now, which you can find at different retailers, different places around the UK. But this is a cool little memento. I'm going to frame mine, and I'm going to hopefully pick up one of each blade shape, and I think that'd be a really cool bit to put, you know, on display. And then lastly, I did a trade for Ashley Harrison with Ollie from Discord. I got this beautiful buffalo 4-inch lamb's foot, and I traded a buffalo Barlow with him. Now, out in the sunlight, it doesn't do it justice in here, but the colours going through this is superb. But beautiful buffalo, lovely worked back spring, and beautiful 4-inch blade on there as well. There's Ashley's mark, which we just saw on the cutouts. Lovely action. I mean, look at that thing. Nice little sway back on there as well. This is, again, is going to be a beautiful work knife. I can't wait to use this thing. But overall, I had a fantastic weekend. Loved meeting everyone that was there. Now, there are a couple of knives here. I did get 2 gift knives from Robin, from the Discord. So Robin, thank you. They're just currently soaking in oil, in progress of being sort of sorted out. And there's a couple of other bits that I've got out there as well. There was a Rogers bunny knife that I got, or utility knife, sorry, the same time as I got the Trevor Ablett. So that's out there, sort of soaking in oil as well. But I really hope you enjoyed the sort of brief showing of all the knives and the sort of gear I picked up at Sharp Show 25. If you did, enjoyed the video, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as it really sort of helps me grow, and hit that bell to be made of videos when they drop. You'll get a little notification. It's free to subscribe. I really would appreciate it if you would. I hope you all had a fantastic weekend. Have a wonderful day. Peace out.